bridge.
Yes.
I'm almost sure anyway.
Musical bridge. Did you guys see the musical bridge at Wolf Creek?
We have in the past.
It's
yeah.
on the yellow trail. That has a map. Well, we made a mallet. Now it's missing. So we have to make another mallet. Yeah, and there was a flip-flop here that I think someone decided that wasn't appropriate. So big gun mallet needs to be made. Pace okay? We're going to go up a little bit of a hill.
Do you know what this was before? Do you know anything about the history of it?
Just what's on the kiosk, really.
I didn't
Somebody owned it, and then
Gave it. Was it a farm?
I'm not sure, to tell you the truth.
I don't see any stone walls and it's pretty hilly, right?
Yeah, and there's probably very little water. I mean,
I know,
it's
but you're always surprised at the places people find.
Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely correct.
And then it goes back to woods, and you're like, yeah, that's more sensical.
I do know this story. The Hannah Creek Ravine, which is up off Cass Hill, actually. It's run by the Nature Conservancy, and in general, they don't maintain their trails very well. But there's the story there. It's a loop, but it doesn't end. You have to walk on the road. At the apex of the hike, it's along a creek, the Hannah Creek. There's remnants of old buildings, and that was a still. And and somebody in Clarksville had wallpaper just depicting this. The people that farmed up here were from like Schoharie, the Palantines, and they were making all kinds of alcohol during Prohibition, and when the tax collector would come, they would skedaddle into the woods. And so this area wasn't farmed or inhabited by people from Albany. They came up from like the Schoharie area.
Oh.
That's the story I heard. And yeah, so there's remnants of an old still
cool.
down there.
Well, of course, for the pioneers out here, everybody grew their own food.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether it's a good farming land or
You
not.
had to.
You farmed or you didn't eat.
Yeah.
True. True.
That's what happened.
Back around here and come back on Orange.
Steve, where's your little area that you worked on? Is that coming up, or we went past it?
We will, unless we,
I've no idea. I was just led there and led back.
if we would have done, if we're going to do the whole perimeter loop, we will end up where he worked, but that's closer to the parking lot. And it's not, one of the reasons they put this, they call it a turnpike. They put logs down and then filled it with like pressure run stones, is it's pretty low and it's not that interesting. I kind of like this area better. So no, we won't, unless you want to walk an extra couple miles.
I just want to mentally place it.
Okay, it's on the far end of the White Trail.
Yeah,
Like
as you
if
say,
you're-
it was very
If you're
flat.
going counterclockwise, it's towards the end.
Are we talking about the trail work?
The trail work, yeah.
Yeah, I missed the beginning of the
This is actually for, I think, for the mountain bikers. So this is the only preserve for Mohawk Hudson that you can mountain bike on, and it's considered a beginner intermediate. I think it's difficult. But if you call, if
Going
you,
up all of these hills.
if you're a real mountain biker, it's not that difficult. Where you fly off rocks and jumps, and but I think it's quite difficult.
No.
But I like to. We cross country ski here.
Oh,
and
that would
because
be
you're that
nice.
much higher, even
Yeah.
Thatcher Park can be kind of cruddy, and this can be nice
Okay.
because we're higher than Thatcher Park.
Snowshoeing?
And you can snowshoe.
That's
So
a
it's
good
really
idea.
quite nice.
Is this a trail you would cross country ski?
Yep, and mountain bike. Yeah, get out of the parking lot and have to climb all the way up here. Whew, you've done your workout for the day. And it's kind of nice because if you're ever at Thatcher Park, it's really rocky and rooty, and I kind of like this soft. It's easier on the joint. And less people, and it's free. You don't have to pay for parking. Is the pace okay for everybody?
I'm always slow. So.
Okay. We're almost up to the height of land, and then we'll kind of meander and then go down and around. So we do have some hills, but it'll mellow out in just a bit. Anybody want to talk about trees or anything else? Anybody an expert at anything?
Well, we've got the pine trees here. Look woolly enough that they could be the white pines.
Yeah, they
we
do
were
look like white.
for the first part of the path there were aspen, quaking aspen leaves all over the place.
Right.
And I'm not used to seeing them much at all. But then I figure whenever I saw the trees and looked around, they weren't aspen. So I figure it must be that the aspen falls earlier than the others. So.
Okay. I think it was in the write-up of. Oh no, I have Strava as my GPS mapping thing, and we're at 1,600 feet, right? The kind of the height of land up here, which Albany is almost zero, right?
Yeah.
So we drove most of it, but
Yeah.
we're higher than Thatcher Park.
Aha.
5.
The
Five?
mnemonic, yeah,
Okay.
5 for white.
Right. For needles.
Yeah, the
5
needles
letters.
are grouped with 5.
What's
That's
the
these
mnemonic?
distinctly.
Oh, just the
WHITE is 5 letters.
Oh, white pine and white pine. Okay.
And I
So
think
this
a
is
lot of this low stuff is striped
So
maple.
this is white pine and it's a bundle of 5.
Yes, that's
But I
fine.
wouldn't
5
swear to
letters
that.
and the
That's
word
my
white.
claim.
Yay, very
Okay.
clever.
Okay,
Little
that's
mnemonic.
it. You've done it.
Yeah.
That's everything you know.
Okay. Last week I did take a rock building course from Tom Breckenbach, who has the castle. He's built his house out of rocks. It's on 146, and he builds beautiful stone walls. So sometime, let's see, Bosenkill, he's helped us build like the ends. You can see where most of the walls may look like this, and then when Tom comes around, they're perfectly level, and they've the corners, and he's quite a talented artist.
Well, there was one, was it Wolf Creek, where we came upon a wall and the walls were really nice.
We did that. He did
Yeah.
that one with us,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's very satisfying. We went to his house, and there was, towards the end of his property, there's an old wall, and he was like, "We're going to do this 10 feet," and he kind of gave us the do's and don'ts, and then it was a puzzle. Well, if you go out Cass Hill on the way home, not did you go up the steep? Yeah, you went up the steep hill. You go out the other side. If you go out the other way, which is a good practice for the winter, you can kind of see how it's the escarpment and then it's gradual. So they kind of just moved up here from the south and farmed, you know, as they, because I have to work on my direction. I don't know, the northwest is the escarpment where Thatcher Park is and everything, but then the top goes down gradually all the way, you know, towards the Catskills. So they could have farmed this very easily, like moving. In the spring, I heard a lot of, wait, what's the teacher bird? Ovenbird, yeah.
Ovenbird.
I love
What is that again that does that?
teacher. The ovenbird goes teacher, and it gets louder each
That's
word.
the ovenbird?
So it's like a kid going teacher.
I
It's a
get
oven,
that.
yeah.
It's called ovenbird.
Ovenbird, and it's usually not seen because they're. But we were out here with my husband and my dog, and I think there were robins and ovenbirds that were just fledgling, and the dog has never had a bird in its mouth, but might have had one of them, and the robins and the ovenbirds were squawking at him, and he was as surprised as anything, but they didn't fly away because I don't think they were just learning how to fly. So then we put him back on the leash. When we're out here during the week, and I gauge the parking lot, kind of let him off so he doesn't run away, and he'll run a little bit, and then we'll put him back on. I think a lot of people this far out do that, but he's well behaved, and he won't chase after deer. I think he was as surprised as anybody that he got a bird.
Yeah.
Like we were like, oh no, don't hurt him. Ready? Should we move on?
Yeah.
So if mountain bikers use this trail, I do not see their tracks. or it being eaten up, but it's usually mountain bike tracks are eaten up
Well, we
by
saw,
the tires.
Yeah, did you see? I saw a few tire marks.
You did?
And when we left, and
But at least up here I haven't seen
yeah,
any.
it's dry enough. If you're an ethical mountain biker, there's kind of if you go down like an inch in the trail, then you shouldn't be riding.
Uh-huh.
If you care about the trails.
Right,
But like today, I would ride, even though there was a little mud initially.
So do they actually bike up here or do they walk it up here?
I would be able to, with a lot of effort, make it up here. That rocky area that we that's a little tough. Like you have to figure out how to hit the rocks just right. But that's why I come out here.
Right. That's good exercise.
I can.
There's nothing else.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've been like on some places, you know, where they have run a ski season during the winter.
Yep.
And then during the summer, they have mountain bike trails running all through it. And most of them that I've seen, it's all like dug in.
Yep.
You can see
Yep.
where everybody's riding in the same spots.
Yeah, they can really destroy. See, I see a little.
Yeah.
Oh, that might not.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
see.
a footprint.
But this is a tire mark right
Yeah,
there. Yeah. So
Yep.
you can see someone's been through.
Looks like the wide tire bikes. Is that what you do also?
Well, my tires are, pretty hefty.
Pretty
but
hefty.
then there's something called a fat tire bike where the tires are like this big, and you can ride all winter in the snow in them.
Yeah, some of those mountain bikers, they run through stuff that I will be afraid of hitting trees all the time.
Ooh, my son he'll get 50 feet in the air, and he has gotten injured more on his mountain bike. So he's told himself, he's only 26, he's got to ratchet it down because
Right.
yeah, and how they can fly off rocks.
Yeah, fly off rocks and just go down and then
Yeah.
navigate between trees that
Yeah.
like even getting the handlebars between the trees.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
tough.
that's an art in itself.
Someone's taking. Well, then there are the ski slopes. You can take the chairlifts up.
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
bike.
that's what they do. The
and
one,
then go
the one
down.
that I saw up in Massachusetts, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Now I do not know if Hunter or Wyndham does mountain bikes. That I don't know. But I know the one in Massachusetts does. Are there any abandoned cemeteries in this area? Not just here, but like this general Hilltown area.
There is. We were just at the Hildeberg Workshop, which is in Voorheesville, underneath the escarpment, like directly over Thatcher Park, and they have a cemetery that a bunch of people were buried in the 1850s. The cemetery. Were you with us when we walked to the cemetery?
No.
At the Hildeberg Workshop? So there is one, and there were like 6 adults over here, and then the little stones were the kids, and it was like 1850, 1870. So they've kind of preserved that area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of these hill towns have plenty of those little private cemeteries
Yep.
for the farm
Where
that
else
was around.
were there besides that one?
That would be another clue to a farm. Although a number of these preserves have been farmed, and I haven't seen cemeteries
Search.
at any of them.
Where did I? There's a place out on off of Route 20, kind of in Esperance, and there was an old cemetery too, and I forget the name of that preserve.
It's in the Dibby County Forest. I think I saw a small cemetery there.
Oh, okay.
I could Google it and find. That was a nice little walk. It wasn't as big as this, but what did you do? If you're going out Route 20, you go north. There is a trail marker sign, but I forget the name of the little. It wasn't.
I don't remember the name of the road either.
And there's something church. There's a white church on the corner, right?
Oh.
Is that? But anyway, it was a nice little walk, and there is a cemetery there with some, and it wasn't fixed up like the gravestones are on the
Right,
ground
right.
and stuff. But
Not a cemetery, really.
so I think the Mohawk Hudson really marks their trails well. I mean, we're still working on Wolf Creek. It's a little confusing, but so the perimeter will go all the way around, but this is kind of that piece, like these two. But I think if we go up the blue, we still have to kind of go up, and there's a flat top, which is kind of interesting. I think Bennett Hill, I know Bennett Hill has a flat top, and on their kiosk, it's some geological formation that they mentioned there. I forget off the top of my head, but and that will bring us closest to the overlook. Although you see a junkyard, so it's not my favorite. But, yeah.
Yeah, Bennett Hill is a good hike.
Yeah.
That's a good hike. If you want to practice to do some of the Adirondack hills, that's a good place to go and practice on Bennett Hill.
Yeah, I had shoulder surgery this spring, so that was my workout. I would do it like, not the entire preserve, but just that hill, like
Right.
3 times.
And there are 2 routes. You could go like around,
Yep.
or you could go up there by that bathtub.
Yep. We're gonna have to give Mike and my husband Mike and Bob a hard time because look at this. Because Bob, this is Bob's preserve also.
Now, does he
He's a
clear
steward.
away the dead things away from the path?
No, just because this is hanging over.
Because I've been noticing there, compared to the other preserves, there's very little dead tree lying around here. I
Okay.
wondered what
No,
that
we
meant.
don't. We've done. I think the story goes for this one. We've done very little in terms of trail creation, maintenance, because it was just here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe these little low bushes are blueberries.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Blueberries
I
or
know.
huckleberries. It must be wonderful in June.
Yeah. Bennett Hill has a ton of blueberries, but none this year because of the frost. There weren't even any blossoms. Yeah.
Is this a
Get
logging
somebody
road?
to lead.
This is it's supposed to be as I understand, it's supposed to be a snowmobile road. They have
Snowmobile?
access or easement, but people are using it as a ATV trail. And there's two or three that come through here.
They
It's
come
been-
through here?
It's been a road for 50 years.
Yeah. So we can't. They're not allowed to go on the trails, but they have to.
Oh, through here, yeah.
But I'm not quite sure. The same with Wynn, which is another Mohawk Hudson. The ATVs are not supposed to be on it. Snowmobiles are allowed, I think. But what can you do?
Yeah.
Like you can't really patrol it.
There was a road like that leading up to where we did the
Yeah. Yep.
the turnpike.
Yep. There's two or three that cross here, and then they go on to Thatcher and around. And some of the snowmobile or ATV trails, they go right through people's property, and they're on a map, but it shouldn't be. And the landowners have nothing, like they can't stop them. And years ago, there was something up at near Grafton, and I think he put a wire up, and somebody got injured, and he was held liable. But it's on his property, and they're illegally riding their ATVs on his property.
How did that ruling come about?
I don't know. I just remember, and then because my husband and I have property up in Clarksville, and they do ride on the corner of our property, which is fine. But another person, they went right by his house, like literally, like right by their back door, and with no consideration that they're riding on private property.
Yeah. I'm surprised that it isn't illegal because in the
There's
States
trespassing.
there's so much. Yeah, there's trespassing.
Yeah.
Property rights are so strong in America, and in Britain I don't know about the motored vehicles, but you are generally allowed to walk across people's property.
There was just something in the New York Times that people are having trouble. They're closing them off.
Yeah.
It was an article in the New York Times in the last month or two.
But that was for walking, which was a big thing to do in Britain.
No,
But
even
if-
that they were cutting off people,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. A friend just after someone posted that someone was on Cape Cod and they were saying no, you can't walk on the beach. I'm like, but it's a beach,
Well,
it's not.
people own beaches
Is-
also in this country, so.
I think the rules are if you stay below the high
High
tide
tide.
line,
You're okay.
you're okay on a beach.
And
Right.
Moody Beach, it's the low tide. They own to the low tide mark.
I
You
think,
can walk across it, you cannot stop and put your stuff down.
Okay.
In Maine.
Okay.
I was like, wow, this is weird, like empty beach.
And someone yeah.
But-
Everybody okay?
But this must have been either a logging road or the farmer's road,
Right.
one or the other.
Right. There are two, and it does. I do have a friend that they could snowmobile from here all the way up to the Adirondacks using these roads. There's published maps, but they go through private property, and they don't. Some of they were like, it's on the map. Well, just because someone made a map doesn't mean that they got permission. And so I think it is an issue in some communities. Everybody okay?
Yep.
The open trail maps, people are having a trails section
off of Murray in Glenmont. So it's basically behind the Walmart. I think it's Schiffenbach. It was a lovely mile hike, up and down, windy, and literally Walmart. You can kind of hear Walmart traffic, but not too bad. But they just carved out a piece between like 32
And where was this again?
it's in Glenmont, so in between 32 and 9W, kind of behind the Walmart. It's called.
Oh, Glenmont. Oh, okay, on that
Glenmont,
side. Yeah.
It's called Schiffenbach. It was lovely. It's just a little mile.
It's right
hike.
behind there. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's not.
I was impressed that it
that's
was so
not-
nice.
That's not far.
So a lot of the Mohawk Hudsons are, a mile or two, but it's just enough. There's a couple off of Fisher Boulevard that are just like a mile. This area we're talking about developing it into a little bit more of a mountain biking, like little terrain park. But see how flat it is up here?
Yeah.
And Bennett Hill is like that also. So maybe the glaciers came through and cut the top off. And we're gonna go down. Everybody doing okay?
Yeah.
Would the bikers like the flat or not like the flat?
It's just an area that's off the trail that you could make features. Like I think like we piled some of this stuff up here because it's a challenge to go up and over that with your bike, without falling. But so we were thinking of like making a little bit more. You can put ramps and you could, so it would be out of the way, so the hikers wouldn't see it. We're just talking about it.
You
Get
know,
more people out here.
You really don't want to do that.
Is this one of the trails?
This is not officially a trail.
It's certainly a road.
But it's just there, and then I think we'll play around up there. But my problem, it's pretty far from the parking lot if anybody got hurt. But,
And that'll help.
yeah.
That's not a great effort.
Where we can do the overlook.
And this looks like a previous road or something like that.
Yeah. Although, we might have put that one in.
Yeah.
Oh, sunshine.
So no mountain bikes on this one, huh?
Only because it curves around and you're at the edge of the escarpment there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going on the red trail.
Okay.
And it's like a like a quarter of a mile to where there's a bench, and we could come back or we could go around again and then come back out. We're gonna come back out here no matter what, and then we could decide we could go home orange.
Well, it's been an hour, so figure
We can
an
do
hour more.
Okay.
Whatever trail would be good for that.
Okay.
But it would
Orange
be
is-
great to get the lookout.
Yeah, we're definitely, that was a request, so we're definitely doing that.
Yeah.
25 and 26. Although I've had a season pass at Prospect over on the far side of Bennington. They
Okay.
usually have better snow, and because they're just that much higher.
The trail.
Yeah.
This must be what
Cross
cross country
country.
skiing
Yeah.
is like.
Except
So that's this. So
Yeah,
no.
there's the plaza.
No,
You
I
can
think
see it.
that's Empire State
Yeah, that,
Plaza.
you can see the plaza right there.
Just because it has the tall building and then the short one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
And
be.
the Albany has the 4 in a square. The towers.
Is there another path that comes into here? Because I remember when I came here like 2 years ago, we came from there here.
Yeah, we'll go out that way, and we'll connect with White, and we'll
Okay.
end up back at that the four-way intersection.
Yeah, I remember this bench when it was built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to
I
get a
did
picture of
hear
everybody
that,
on
that
the bench?
it's hazy because of the smoke from the northwest Canada. It's
Still,
it's still,
still
it,
coming
you know,
in?
it's coming back, and one we had to turn around, and it was so smoky driving home that it was hard to breathe, and I don't have asthma.
Yeah, well, you get me thinking, but
Have a sip.
don't mention too much of that.
That tree was kind enough.
Fall over, yeah.
It's up to you. I don't
Maybe
have
that's what it's about.
Thank you though. Don't have any mouth-borne diseases. Good.
Yeah, there might be a couple other lookout places that you can kind of see.
Mhm.
This is Wolf Hill, but Wolf Hill, the road, is kind of that way. And you can get from Wolf Hill, the road, to Pinnacle, to Beaver Dam.
Mhm.
Like that's that direction. And so then you're truly on the top of Fetcher at that point.
I know look up on Ben Hill, up on the top, they cleared out a lot of the trees because the trees were starting to hide the lookout
Right.
over there.
Yeah, Bennett Hill has a really nice.
Yeah.
You can see Copeland Hill, which I think the Holt Preserve is on
Mhm.
Copeland Hill, and you can see a couple other of the hills.
And you had mentioned Holt Preserve because of what?
Oh, I think it's I haven't gone there in quite a few years, but it's on the top of Copeland Hill. It's part of Copeland Hill.
Oh,
So it was Mark King's, vision to
Oh, okay.
preserve Bennett Hill and Copeland
Yeah.
Hill, and there's still another Blodgett Hill, all in that southern.
Is that where that barn is? On Hope
No,
up
Holt.
there? Right,
Holt has 2 entrances,
right.
so it can be confusing.
But I thought that there was one that had like an old barn on there that is like crushing itself
Oh wow.
up there.
I guess I don't. It was quite a while that I went there.
So that's like on the backside, like Carriage Road, on the backside.
Yeah.
So if you go Carriage Road, there's a road that offshoots off of that, and you could go up
Okay. I
on the
thought
back
Carriage-
side of it.
Oh, that's Carrick Road.
Yeah.
It's on,
Carrick and
Carrick. I haven't been there in a while to the Holt Preserve.
Yeah.
We ready to move on, or does people need some rest?
No, we decided to go downhill this morning.
You can go right
Yeah.
down there.
They should put in a zip line here. Put in a zip line.
We were looking at places to ski, but
That's what I've always.
So you could make it around.
That's the same thing I was saying about Bennett Hill. They should put a zip line
Yeah.
to that.
I have skied Bennett Hill.
You have skied it?
I have skied it. I have friends that own on the far side,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll go through their property. But I have beefy cross-country skis with metal edges, so I can
Mm-hmm.
I can stop. Or I can
Do you have to put skins on it or not?
I have the scales that are
That are
I-
built into it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do
okay.
have. I have skins for them, but
Uh-huh.
these rolly places,
Right, right.
You don't. I'd rather not put them in.
Continuously carrying all my own food.
Did you do the Northville Placid Trail?
Long ago.
Very good. That's a rough one. So we're gonna head. I suggest heading back this way, and we'll come out at that Four Corners. And this was just like a little loop. If you were coming from the parking lot and continued on White, you'd kind of go around and around, and then you'd come up here.
Oh.
But the orange is kind of nice. They did build it for mountain biking, so it's curvy and flowy, like a mountain biker likes to kind of go down. But it's nice to walk too, because it. And then we could, if someone wants to go see the turnpike, we can add on. One of the easier ones. I thought.
Where's the fire tower?
We said there's Saranac 7 up in the Adirondacks.
Okay, because now the one at Grafton,
Okay.
they have one there,
These
and
are-
up in near Lake George,
Yep.
or Hadley Mountain,
Yep.
they got a fire tower out there.
No, I didn't get any. I was the one who kind of popped it, and I didn't get any smell in my finger.
Okay. Yeah, I think this literally that was the last hill, and then the rest are downhill. Or we're on top. We can't get any higher than this. Anybody know that bird?
And when people say, "Oh, bluebirds are so blue," I think,
Well, the male is blue and the female is
yeah.
black. But it has a little.
If the sun hits it right, yeah, probably.
Where is that? Oh, in Rensselaerville, isn't there one that says like Albany, New York City?
Yeah.
Right on the street. So if we go white, then eventually we'll hook over, we'll intersect with orange, and we'll go back, kind of back that way. So the only thing we haven't done over there is like the outer white perimeter. And I actually kind of like it over there too.
Would orange there go to where you're going to intersect?
This is actually red.
Oh,
This is the little overlook that we just did. So we have to go down farther this way on white, and then we'll hit orange, and that'll bring us almost out to the parking lot. Not quite. Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
grain is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, there's something about it that just doesn't look like the other preserves. So often when people ask about a preserve that we've been on and what's it like, and I don't want to say this, but yeah, well, it looked like all the other preserves.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't. And the density, and it's so lumpy.
Yeah, and it feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere when you
Yeah.
kind of are.
Yeah.
Anybody want to run down there?
Okay.
It's nice running, also coming back up.
As Steve takes
They got a spot similar to this up at Bennett Hill where people
Yeah.
go up and down that gully.
I think it'd be fun to try it.
I think there's too much leaf litter.
Yeah.
You'll be sliding down.
Yeah. Just go down like a snow coaster.
They should clear out some of these trees so we get a better view.
Yeah.
Well, once the leaves fall down, you will be able to. Oh, that looks like something.
Oh, it's nuthatch.
Oh, okay. And there's the sound of the nut.
Nuthatch. I'm just thinking of that.
So I forget what kind of bench Bob calls those, but
Yeah, I've
He has a
seen one
name.
like that before.
He,
Mhm.
yeah, and so he cuts them back at the house at Mohawk, yeah, the garage, and they put them together out here.
It just has a very similar feel to Bennett Hill on top of that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
same geological.
Yeah.
And maybe, probably on the website and definitely at the kiosk, it says why it's such a geological
Mm-hmm.
significance. Like the flat top.
Yeah, they said they even like the flat top at Bennett Hill that was they had sheep grazing on top of there.
Okay. And I think there's actually a wetland. It's a legitimate wetland on top of. the
Yes,
hill.
you're right.
Yeah.
There is.
That's noted in the.
Yeah. I think that wetland even feeds that tub.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
My dog jumped right in there
Yeah.
and sat down, and it was like, oh. I was like, oh, well, so much for keeping this one clean. No, he was just like, there was no inhibition. He just like, hey, looks like this will pull me off.
Yeah, we had a hunting dog and he used to love to jump in the swimming pool. Paddle around.
Yeah.
I just don't know this area well enough
Yeah.
to do something like that. Although,
And there's Stovepipe Road that will bring you back to 85. Or if people want to go kind of towards Voorheesville, I could take you the long way home.
well, I might go for that.
I'm
Or if
gonna
you could
break
take me
it.
anywhere near Delaware Avenue, then.
Oh, Delaware Avenue is 443. Yeah. In fact, Cass Hill will take you right to 443 Delaware Avenue. That would be. Or I bet, you know what? If you put in Bethlehem High School, it would bring you Cass Hill way, I think, because Bethlehem High School is right on 443.
But where's Cass Hill living? I mean, why would I want to go there?
It's the winter. It's the winter way to come.
Oh, I see.
Like you wouldn't want to go up there in the winter. So we'll go straight.
Where would this road go? Come out to?
You know, if you looked on a map, these dirt roads are on there. You know, it goes down, but it has to go onto someone's private property. But I think you can get over to Derbyshire or Dunbar Hollow Road, like higher than the village of Clarksville. But once again, you don't know what's legal and what's not. Like
Yeah.
some of these dirt roads don't want you on their dirt roads.
I wouldn't worry about that so much as for paths because, I mean, they are a road.
Right.
What are we going to do to it? We're going to
Right.
do what's supposed to be done on it. We're going to drive.
This seems to have current vehicle use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some huge puddles. I think we'll cross one or two more roads, or they might be the same. Depending on which way we go, it might be the same road. But
Are
there
they
are.
supposed to be?
I think there's 8. They are.
This is where you said you pick up the ranges. right?
Yep.
I had my mother in with me last November. She's 90. So I can't always leave her home alone. She's very, very independent. She's doing great, but boy, I missed a lot of other walks this year.
That's a big commitment for you.
Yes, it is.
I'm glad I can do it.
Is she very mobile?
Very. Yesterday she went out. She had to get blood drawn. She still has doctors in Schenectady, and she left about 7:45, and around 11. Should I call her? I don't really want her picking up the phone if she's driving. And she was just arriving
she's
home. She had
driving.
stopped at the Schenectady Library to donate books and cashed her check.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
like,
great.
okay.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But please, keep me apprised of your
Yeah.
whereabouts, because I worry.
Can you do find your phone with her?
Oh,
Without her
Yeah.
knowing?
I don't have an iPhone.
Get her a
My
link.
sisters do. I should have said to somebody.
So green, if you decide, if you were to do green, it would take you back to the blue section, but and then white will go around and a little farther, but we're gonna take this shortcut, well, down, and we'll end up back on white.
Now, are these kind of trees referred to wolf trees? Because they say like it has branches out, it has hollows in it, and things like that.
Here's a slug. Sluggy thing. Slimy, sluggy stuff. Woody?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And there we see the maker of
Yes.
it. May have
That's
been
right.
stepped on.
Hmm. Looks alright.
They look pretty bad either way.
Oh, that's the wow here. Property is at the top of Wolf Hill, 166 feet high, and along the Hildebrook Escarpment. Anacroy and how would you put it?
Something.
Yeah,
Like
Anasquith.
Let's see.
Something like that.
They're saying we should go back. I came that way. She's saying going that way so I can find it in the winter.